Episode 1. The Journey begins. Ali and Marco were best friends who loved the sea. They lived in a small town by the coast, spending their days exploring the harbor and listening to sailors' stories about adventure. The scent of salt water filled the air, and the cries of seagulls echoed through the bustling marketplace. Merchants sold fresh fish, exotic spices, and finely crafted goods, making the town lively and full of energy. The boys often sat by the docks, watching the large ships come and go, dreaming of setting sail one day. They would imagine themselves as explorers, crossing vast oceans, discovering hidden islands, and meeting new people. One bright morning, as they walked along the docks, they noticed a large ship being prepared for a long journey. The ship's name was Santa Maria, and it belonged to the famous explorer, Christopher Columbus. The vessel stood tall and proud, its sails catching the morning breeze. Sailors rushed around, loading barrels of food, tying ropes, and preparing the sails. The air was filled with excitement and anticipation. Ali nudged Marco. "Look at that ship, Marco. Imagine sailing across the ocean, discovering new lands." Marco's eyes gleamed with excitement. "One day, we will. Maybe sooner than you think." As they wandered closer, a tall man with a commanding presence approached them. He had a kind face, a neatly trimmed beard, and eyes filled with wisdom and determination. "Welcome aboard," the man said. "I'm Captain Christopher Columbus. What brings you two young men here?" Ali and Marco were speechless for a moment. They had only dreamed of meeting a real explorer, and now they were standing in front of one. "We love the sea," Marco finally said, "and we love adventure. We wish we could go on a journey like yours." Columbus smiled. "Then you have the heart of sailors. Come, let me show you the ship." Ali and Marco followed him eagerly. They walked past rows of wooden barrels filled with supplies and climbed up to the deck, where the giant sails fluttered in the wind. The ship creaked and groaned as it swayed gently in the water. "Everything here has a purpose," Columbus explained. "The sails catch the wind, the ropes control them, and the crew keeps the ship moving forward. It takes discipline and teamwork." Ali and Marco listened carefully, absorbing every word. They knew this was no easy life, but they wanted to be a part of it. As the sun began to set, Columbus invited them to dine with the crew. The table was filled with roasted meat, fresh bread, and fruits. Laughter and chatter filled the air as sailors shared stories of past adventures. Columbus described his vision of finding a new route to distant lands, and the boys hung on to every word. "You boys seem eager for adventure," he said, studying them. "Would you like to join us?" Ali and Marco gasped. Was this really happening? They looked at each other, then nodded eagerly. "Yes," Marco exclaimed. "We'll work hard. We promise." Columbus chuckled. "Good. We set sail at dawn. Get some rest. Tomorrow, your adventure begins." That night, Ali and Marco barely slept. They helped the crew load supplies, then lay on the deck staring at the stars, dreaming of the journey ahead. The waves lapped gently against the ship, a soothing sound that made their excitement even more real. At sunrise, the ship set sail. The boys stood at the railing, watching their town disappear into the distance. A mix of excitement and nervousness filled their hearts. They were finally sailors. Life on the ship was tough. The boys had to wake up early, scrub the deck, help with the sails, and carry heavy barrels. A kind old sailor named Tom took them under his wing, teaching them how to tie knots, read the stars, and navigate the sea. "Every sailor must know how to find his way," Tom said. "The stars will guide you when there's nothing but ocean around." Days turned into weeks as they sailed further into the unknown. The sea stretched endlessly in every direction. One morning, as Ali and Marco leaned over the railing, they saw something incredible. A group of dolphins swimming beside the ship. The dolphins leaped gracefully through the waves, their sleek bodies shining in the sunlight. "Wow," Ali whispered. "I've never seen anything like this." Marco grinned. The ocean is full of wonders. But the sea was not always kind. One evening, dark clouds appeared on the horizon. The wind picked up, and the waves grew higher. "Storm ahead," a sailor shouted. Columbus quickly took charge. "Secure the sails! Tie everything down!" Ali and Marco ran to help, their hands trembling as they struggled with the ropes. The wind howled, and rain poured down in sheets. The ship rocked violently as giant waves crashed against it. Ali gripped the side of the ship, his heart pounding. "What if we sink?" "Hold on," Marco yelled over the storm. "We have to trust the captain." Columbus held the wheel firmly, guiding the ship through the raging sea. The crew fought against
the storm for hours. Ali and Marco clung to the ropes, soaked to the bone but determined to stay strong. Finally, the winds calmed and the sea settled. The storm had passed. The crew cheered in relief. "You two did well," Columbus said, patting their shoulders. "You have the heart of real sailors." Ali and Marco smiled proudly. They were exhausted, but they had survived their first storm. As the days passed, the boys grew more confident. They learned to climb the mast, steer the ship, and even help with maps. They felt like true explorers. One afternoon, Ali spotted something in the distance, a dark shape on the horizon. "Look, Marco." "What's that?" He pointed excitedly. Marco squinted. "It looks like an island." Captain Columbus came over, adjusting his telescope. A smile spread across his face. "Indeed, we will stop there and explore. Get ready, boys." Excitement filled the air. The crew prepared to drop anchor. Ali and Marco's hearts raced. What would they find on this new land? Would it be filled with treasures, strange creatures, or new people? As the ship neared the shore, the golden sand and lush green trees became clearer. The adventure had truly begun.